Hey yo, if you would like to become a sponsor on the Saint Laz channel and have any and everything that you're pushing, your artist, your brand, your YouTube channel, your music, your video, if you want that all pushed on this channel and seen by thousands and thousands of people per day, get at me. You heard? Text that number right there and let's talk business. This is part 4 to the series Peter Pan Survivor North Carolina. So if you ain't see part 1, 2, and 3, make sure you go to that Peter Pan playlist and watch all 4 parts of the series because they fire. You heard? Shout out to the whole NC. Shout out to the whole Brownsville, Brooklyn, Riverdale Towers. You feel me? 11212 gang. Comment gang, I need y'all to destroy this. Slim Blunt gang, I need y'all to rep that Slim Blunt gang in the comments. Gen Pop, we in the building. We running these YouTube streets. You already know we got work on all corners. That Gen Pop stamp is on all corners. That's a fact. Email me if you got a crazy story that you feel like the world needs to hear. You're Z-Boy.
You gave my PIN number to one of these niggas in here, and I can't make my phone call. Ain't nobody making no phone call like that. So the CO nigga yells out, "Yo, 46 still holding up the phone," and woo. So the blood niggas start screaming, "Hey, yo, 46 bail." That's what they was saying. I guess they was using B word. But anyway, "Hey, yo, 46 bail. You better let that fucking phone go." Woo. So different niggas hollering out, "Hey, yo, 46 bail, you fool, nigga. You fool, nigga." Alright, yeah. So, after I snuffed her shit, the fiend and shit, she had went in the house. The next day, I came outside over there by Van Dyke, over there by they call it a little red store. I come out there by the red store, this like in the evening. So I'm standing in front of the red store, I'm chilling out and shit. I see her coming across the street, walking towards me, and she got her son-in-law with her. So they coming across the street to me while I'm at the red store. So she get to the middle of the street and pull out a fucking kitchen knife. She put out a kitchen knife, he pull out like a ninja sword. So they will pull out weapons and shit like that. So I ain't running or nothing. So I'm kind of like walking real fast, like walking away from them and shit. They stopped following me. So I went over, to my man crib on the south side. I chilled over there with him for a couple of hours. It got late that night. Late that night, after that night, I went home. I come out early the next morning. I'm staying at my uncle's house on Herkimer Street. So I come from down Herkimer Street and coming back to the projects early in the morning. So this is like 8 o'clock in the morning. I come down to the projects. I get to Van Dyke. I get over there by the building where they live at because I hang over there. So soon as I get to the block and I get to the projects, guess who coming out the building? The son-in-law. So the son-in-law coming out the building. He come out the building, make the left, and go to walk down Powell Street, and I figure he probably walked to the train station on the number 3 train to Junior Street. So I walk up through the projects. I stay in the projects. He's on the outside of the street. I get to the train station first. And go up the steps and go up to the platform, and then I stand at the top of the steps. By that time, he's coming down. He's at the bottom of the steps. As he approaching like the bottom of the steps, I start walking down towards him. I walk down the steps towards him and shit. And he's standing there, he see me. I say, "Yo, you pulled out a ninja sword on me yesterday. I told you I was gonna see you about that shit." So as he's standing there, he never moved, never flinched or nothing. I pulled out the little knife I had and I stabbed him in the head. So when I stabbed him in the head, he just like let out like a screech, like a ah, and he just collapsed on the ground. If I remember correctly, I probably kicked him 1 or 2 times. Then I walked back across the street. When I walked across the street and walked to the first building, not the first building, the second building on the south side, right across from Junior Street train station. And I went up to my man crib. I told my man what happened and all that shit. So we sitting up there, we chilling out, doing our regular routine shit every morning. We, smoking little trees and all that shit before I hit the block and get out on my grind. A whole fucking month go by last. I ain't thinking nothing of it. So a whole month go by, me and, like I asked you before, if you knew my man Seville from Van Dyke, me and Seville standing in the back of 414 on Southern Avenue in Southern Powell. We drinking a little bottle of Hennessy. I had a little bottle of Hennessy, me and him sharing it. So the next thing you know, the D's come down a little walkway and they make the left over to where me and him standing there drinking the Hennessy at. I'm not thinking nothing of it. A whole month had done went by since the situation with this dude. You know what I'm saying? So the D come over there, and I tell Seville, I said, yo, oh shit, police coming over here. So I went to go grab the Henny bottle and try to like cuff it, like put it, try to like hide it and shit. So the D walked up, the black dude, he walked up and was like, nah, I ain't even worried about that Hennessy, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about that like that. So he pointed at me. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, let me ask you something. I said, what? He said, who you got beef with out here? I said, I ain't got, so I pointed at Seville. I said, yo, you see who I'm hanging with? I hang with grown men. I don't hang with I ain't got no beef with nobody. That beef shit like for young niggas, you know what I'm saying? Now, all the fiends in the neighborhood, they know me as black. They don't know me as Peter Pan. I don't tell them that. I tell them everybody call me black. You know what I'm saying? So after he asked me who I got beef with, I said, I ain't got beef with nobody like that. So he said, what's your name? I said, my name Black, like that. So he immediately said, turn around, put your hands behind your back. So I turned around, put my hands around on my back and shit. They arrest me, take me to the 73rd precinct. They take me to the 73rd precinct. He's strip searching me. Like, they never tell me like what my real charges is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking them like, you strip searching what my charges is, like that. So what I found out, the fiend told him I had hit her because she went and buy crack from me. So he was looking to catch some crack on me. You know, that's why he was stripping me before he tell me what he was arresting me for. So he finally so when he seen I ain't had nothing, he told me what my charges was, and he was like, oh, all right. So I told him right there, I said, yeah, you know what I mean? Do one knife out me and I stabbed him. I said, yeah, that's what happened. Boom. They processed me, take me to the bookings and all that. I wound up going to Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? Now, me being down south all that time, like for all of the years and shit, you know, I ain't never really had no charges in New York where I ever had to go to the island. I never got, you know what I'm saying, not for nothing in my past in New York. So when I get to Rikers Island, and shit, they process me and all of that shit. I get up to the house, my man Demo's in the house. He's from 362 from Southern Mother Gaston, from the first building in Van Dyke. He in the house. I chill with him. We in the house chilling and all that. I'm good, you know what I'm saying? 2 weeks later, after I'm in the house with them, they tell me to pack up. So they tell me pack my shit up. I pack my shit up, so I'm like, where I'm going? They said, you made bail, like that. I can't figure out in a million years who bailed me out. So what I come to find out is, you know, my cousin Vic and doing them, you know what I'm saying? They sister bailed me out. I didn't know nothing about it. I never called her or nothing like that. So she must have found out I was in jail and she bailed me out. Nicole bailed me out. So Nicole bailed me out and shit, you know what I mean? So now I go back to the block and shit, you know, so now I get to fight the case on the street, you know what I'm saying? So I go back out, I get out and shit, I'm back on the block, I'm doing my little thing, selling my little cracks again. So in between all of that, I'm going back and forth to court, lads. I'm going back and forth to court and shit. I finally cop out. They said they gonna give me a year because my record wasn't like that in New York. All my shit was down south. So they told me, you're going to cop out to a year, suspended 6 months. I'll probably get like 6 months probation. You know what I'm saying? So I said, all right, cool. I took that. So in the process of taking that, they kept giving me court dates to come back in court. So like the last time they gave me the court date, I'm thinking I'm going to turn myself in. So what I did was, shout out to my man, Ja Diggs, too, from Van Dyke. You know what I'm saying? Ja Diggs, the court date that I had, I'm thinking they're going to keep me. So me and Ja Diggs got me. I said, yo, son, I need to get some work. I need to get some food and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to turn myself in today, this morning. He's like, word, this morning. I said, yeah, I got another court date. I think they're going to keep me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can start my bid on Rikers Island. So, me and him go to Langston Hughes. We go to the middle building of Langston Hughes. We go up to some crib he took me to. I bought like 2 bundles of boy. I bought me 2 bundles of boy. I got some trees and I had got some matchsticks. Got some matchsticks and I tore the matchsticks up into little pieces where I had a little red part. You know what I'm saying? So I put all that shit in the balloon. Now I never caught a drug charge in Van Dyke because I know how to do this little trick where I could swallow I could do like a quarter ounce, like 7 grams. I could swallow it and hold it in my throat. You know what I'm saying? I could still talk with it. That's why I never caught a drug case in the projects. They would run up on me but never find nothing. But they would be structure me hard, like they know they see me serve somebody, but they can't find my pack. My pack is in my throat, lads. You know what I'm saying? So did take me to do that. I did all of that. After I did all that, I went to either Belmont or Pickens Avenue. I started buying mad cosmetic shit. So I buy mad cosmetic shits, lotions, Jergens, deodorant, and all of that shit. So after I left him, I got my bag. I get on the train. I go to the court for the court date. So I go to the court date. I get in front of the judge or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like probably like a 4th or 5th person that they call in front of the judge. I go in front of the judge. The judge give me another court date to come back to court. So I got my bag with me and shit. Now I ain't never been to Rikers Island to do a bid. I only did 2 weeks before Nicole bailed me out. I never been to Rikers Island in my life before that. So now I go to the court date. The judge tell me, we're going to give you come back to court for sentencing. So I told the judge, I said, look, I got all my cosmetics right here. I said, I got my bag and everything. I'm ready to go today. I said, the more y'all keep putting my court date off, the more, the more y'all keep putting off my court date, the longer it's going to take me to lose 6 months on Rikers Island. I said, I got my cosmetics. I'm ready to go today. Like that, you know what I mean? So the judge told me, go sit down in the back of the courtroom. So what had happened was they did all the cases that whole day, and they called me back up in front of the judge when everybody else had left. So he said, yo, this is what you want to do? You know, I said, yeah, I want to turn myself in today because it's prolonging me from getting out doing the bid on Rikers Island. It's prolonging me, lads. So they kept me and all of that, but they wound up, I don't know if it was from the bookings or, I mean, not the bookings, it was from, the bookings. I don't know if it was from the bookings or I don't remember when I got the Rikers Island. But all the cosmetics, the lotions, the soap that I brought to take with me, they took it and said, I can't take that. I had to get maybe like Rikers Island shit or order something off the comment, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I had name brand shit. I had deodorant name brand shit. You know what I'm saying? So, they wound up taking all of that shit. Now, mind you, I still got the balloon. I got 2 bundles of boy, you know what I'm saying, in the balloon. I got trees and I got the matchsticks. So I got on that. I made it all in that. I made it in Rikers Island with all of that. So they took me to a sentencing house. I guess it's a 6th building. They took me to the 6th building. I get in the 6th building. I first walk in the house or whatever, you know, I'm assessing the situation, see how I work, because that's what I was told to do. Sit on the bed, don't unpack nothing, and just look around and see, you know what I mean, see what's going on. So I did all of that, you know what I'm saying. That day went by when I got to the island, so cool. I get up the next morning, you know, I'm sitting on the bed, I see everybody moving around. They leaving the house, people walking around, like leaving outside, walking past the guard bubble, and they was walking down the hallway and shit. So I'm like, where everybody going and shit like that. So boom, I still ain't got nothing. I ain't got no cosmetics or nothing. So I see a group of dudes in the back. I realized they were some blood dudes. So they had all their beds in the back, probably like 8 or 9 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I got to get some cosmetics. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up. So what I did was I wound up walking to the back where they was at. You know what I'm saying? And I asked one of them. I said, yo, my man, can I holler at you for a minute? He was like, yeah, yo, what's up? Like that. I said, look, I just turned myself in. I just got here. Y'all see, I just got here yesterday. I said, yo, I ain't really got no cosmetics, nothing like that. I'm fucked up. They took all of my shit and said I can't bring those kind of Jergens. The whatever I had, they said I couldn't have it like that. You know what I mean? I told him, I said, yo, I'm fucked up. I said, listen, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I told him my situation. I got some boy and I got some trees like that. He was like, you got trees? You got trees right now? I said, yeah, I got some trees. I'm willing to change that. I'm willing to, because I ain't want to get high in there, lads. You know what I'm saying? That's my first time Rikers Island. I don't want to be high. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, you know, if I got to get busy or something, I'm all off point. So I said, listen, give me some cosmetics. Do y'all have tobacco? You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, we got tobacco and shit like that. I said, give me some cosmetics and give me some tobacco. And y'all can take the weed. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh shit. He was like, all right. He went back to the back and told them niggas, I see them niggas kind of getting a little hype or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Boom. He came and gave me the shit. I gave him the trees and all of that. Boom. I'm chilling now. I'm sitting on my bed and all that, you know, put my little shit up. You know what I'm saying? Then the blood dude came back over there. He was like, yo, you said you got boy? Like that. I said, yeah, I got boy. He said, yo, you trying to get rid of it? I said, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to, you know, just in case I need. Because last, what the stipulations was when the old girl, when I hit old girl and stabbed the old boy, they put it in my sentences. I had to pay restitution. So anytime somebody send me money on Rikers Island gonna take the money. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get nobody to send me no money. So everything I had as far as like the boy, I had to rinse it and get everything that I needed because I'd be in there for 6 months. The blood dude told me follow him to the job program. We walked like down to the hallway out the house, and we walked like down to the hallway. I think it was like a gymnasium. We get like to the gymnasium. He's walking around. I'm standing there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the gymnasium, that's where you get your jobs at. Like if you want to work in the kitchen or, you know, whatever kind of job you want to do, that's where you go get it at. So that's where I went with him at. I went with him there. He came back over there to me while I was standing there. I was like, yo, the dude that he was looking for is not in there. He must didn't come there today or whatever. So he said, I'm going to go back to the house. What you going to do? I said, nah, I'm going to chill here and see what kind of jobs they got. This way I can get me a little job or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed in the little, I'm asking about the job, what they got open. Like the kitchen or the porter or anything, you know what I'm saying? So they said they ain't have nothing, you know what I mean? So I said, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to the house. You know what I'm saying? I played myself. I took this work that I had in my throat. I just put it up because I'm thinking I'm in there doing my bid now. I'm good now. I put the shit in my sock, lads. I put the balloon with the boy and the matches, you know what I'm saying, and the tobacco I had left in the house. But the boy that I had left and the matchsticks, I put that in my sock and I go back. I'm walking back down the hallway to the house. I get to the house, lads. The CO nigga that I guess he worked in the bubble or whatever, he said, you come here, like that. So I go over there and I'm like, what's going on? He said, why you come back so fast? I said, nah, I went down to the job program. I get down there to the job program. I stay a little while. They ain't have no type of job that I like, you know what I'm saying, or the job that I wanted. So I come back to the house. He said, nah, get up against the wall. He told me get up against the wall. He pat me down, pat my waist down and all of that shit, and went down to my ankle. He went down to my ankle, lads, and found the big ass fucking balloon with all the fucking boy in it and the fucking matchsticks. So when he did that, he busted open and all of it fell on the floor and shit. So I'm looking down as he got his hand on my back. I'm looking down at him. He start flipping. Turn your head, put your head to that fucking wall. Y'all smash your fucking face in that wall if you look again. You know what I'm saying? So boom, they got me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like looked over in the house because it was like the entrance back to the house. I see all the blood niggas, then they shaking their head like, damn, Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? So boom. They told me, it was like only probably about like 10 minutes or whatever. I went in the house and sat on my bed and shit. They called me right back out. They called me right back out and took me to like down the same hallway where I went to go get the fucking, to go look for the job and shit. And it was like a door. I didn't know it was an office, but it was like when you open the door, it's a nice office in there. I think that was like the captain office. So they take me in there. I go in there. I'm sitting down under the captain asking me, yo, where you get all of this shit from? Like that. And I told him, I said, yo, I came in with it. I just got sentenced yesterday. I came in with it like that. He's like, nah, you didn't come in with it. Where did you go? He said, you got it from somebody at that job program and you went back to the house and my officer stopped you like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I came in with it. I got sentenced yesterday. I just got here yesterday and I brought it in with me like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he didn't believe me for a little while, then he wound up believing me. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So now this is like my first time at Rikers Island. I don't know nothing about a new charge. They telling me I gotta go to some kind of Rikers Island hearing. You know what I'm saying? I go to the little Rikers Island hearing and they gave me like 400 something days in the box. You know what I'm saying? So that was my punishment, you know, for getting caught. And now they taking me out the house. They took me to another part of Rikers Island, put me like a holding area, like with some other dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, they took me to I don't know if you might know more about Rikers Island than me. I think it was OBCC. They got a box, right?
Yeah, the pound.
The pound. Okay, that's it. It looked like a dorm, but it got all cells, but you still got the tape. You could tell it was used to be a fucking like a dorm, like. But they don't use that for that. It's not no dorm. It's like the box. So you know what I'm saying. So they took me over there. So I stood in there. So next thing you know, I come in the house like. So I'm handcuffed with a couple of other people. I didn't know the dude was in front of me was a blood. So when you walk in the house, I guess they call it dog pound, like you said. You walk in the house, everybody's on their gate, like who that, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that. So I heard the dude in front of me, like never who that. This is the homie. Ooh. He say his little shit, and they know it's one of their homies that's coming in there. You know what I'm saying? So I go, my turn to go. They take me in there. Hey, yo, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that. I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I go straight up to the cell. They put me in cell 46. I go upstairs to the right. As soon as I get in, I go in cell 46. Boom. About like a month and a half go by. About 5 o'clock in the morning, they call me, tell me, yo, get up. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to court. I'm like, I'm going to court. Where? What court? I already went to my hearing. They gave me like 400-something days in a box. Like that. You know what I'm saying? They say, nah, you got to go to street court. So they wound up taking me off Rikers Island and taking me to the Bronx, lads. They took me to the Bronx. I go to the Bronx and they take me in front of the judge, you know. They're like, a lot of people, other people going to court too. So when I get in front of the judge and shit, the judge gave me time served, you know what I mean? So the judge gave me time served for that, what they caught me with. I go back to Rikers Island. I go back to Rikers Island. They take me back to the 46 cell, back to the like you said, the dog pound. They take me to the dog pound. I'm in the dog pound. There's like 3 months going by. You know what I'm saying? So this 3 months going, I'm fucking bugging out because every day the blood niggas is like, I guess they do their shit. Peace on my head, peace, blood. So they go from cell to cell all the way around the whole fucking dorm, and everybody say they shit. You know what I mean? So I'm in there like 3 months. I'm bugging the fuck out. Like it's just mad noisy all day. You know what I mean? So I'm just bugging the fuck out. So one day they started getting these dudes. They call it Suicide Prevention Associate. They're like an SPA. You heard of them?
Yeah.
So they got one of them dudes to come into the dog pound. You know what I'm saying? So I know he supposed to like prevent suicide and shit like that. So he's running all around the fucking up and down the tiers and shit. You know what I mean? Like the blood niggas is. He passing kites for them, doing all kind of shit for them. You know what I mean? So they running him raggedy. You know what I mean? Threatening him and all of that. You know what I mean? Because I guess the Bloods, they have so much power. Like they know what house he came from. So if he don't do what they say, they'll send a kite somewhere and get his ass touched. You know what I'm saying? So being that I'm not blood, but I need certain things from him. So I'm listening to certain blood niggas call him, and when he don't do what they want, they tell him, hey yo, SPA, they might say, yo, SPA, hey yo, SPA, you wanna violate me, SPA, if I be in population, my gun go off. Or so they were saying little shit like that to him, you know what I mean? That he'll run to their cell or whatever and give them what they want or whatever. So earlier that day, the same day, the CO came past my cell, you know what I'm saying? So CO come past my cell. I asked, I'm in there 3 months now. I ain't got no literature. I don't have nothing. So CO, I said, yo, CO. I said, yo, man. Can you please, man, if y'all got a newspaper down there at the bubble or whatever, little shit he working. I said, I don't care if it's an old newspaper. Like, can I get the newspaper? He said, yo, I got you. You been chilling out for 3 months. You ain't been making no noise. I said, nah, man, I've been chilling, man. I'm bugging out of here. I need something to read. You know what I mean? So he never came back. So the SPA running around. I stopped the SPA. So I said, yo, SPA, let me holler at you for a minute. So the SPA, I said, yo, the CEO told me a little while ago I could go he gonna give me a newspaper. I need you to go down there and go get the newspaper from him. You know what I'm saying? So SPA like, all right, I got you. Now, he's still running, them bloods running him mad crazy, running him up and down the tiers, across the tiers and all that. So I called him again. I said, yo, SPA. I said, yo, SPA. He come back and say, he's like, yo, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, he running back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Whoa. Now, I got a blood that's next door to me in the cell. It was mostly bloods in there. I wound up meeting one crip, but it was all bloods in there. So, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm still calling, hey, yo, SPA, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what's up? Go get the newspaper, go down there, tell the CEO, give you the news, just give me the newspaper. I won't bother you no more, you know what I'm saying? So, boom. He's like, yo, I got you. He's running around up in the tier and all of that shit, you know what I mean? So everything I hear the Bloods doing, I picked up on it. I'm starting to do it. You know what I mean? So he come and run past me, run past my cell to go down, down the tier, whatever. You know what I mean? I said, yo, SPA. I said, yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, yo, I got to, and ran off. You know what I'm saying? So I heard the blood nigga. I said the same thing. Hey, SPA, you want to violate me? You know about that population? My gun go off. You know what I'm saying? So the blood nigga next door to me, he was like, hey, yo, Black. So I got kind of like familiar with him. You know what I'm saying? So he yelled through the vent. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, yo, Black. He was like, yo, Black, you got to calm down, Black. You know what I'm saying? Say, yo, I'm going to try to help you out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call the SPA over here. Let him take care of the homies first. I'm going to call the SPA over here, and I'm going to just tell him, go down there and get that newspaper for you. You know what I mean? But, he looked out. He wanted to call the SPA. The SPA come, you know what I mean? He did what he said. Went, got the newspaper, came back, bought me the newspaper. I'm chilling. I don't need nothing else now, lads. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? I can say I'm chilling. I can say about like a month or two go by. You know what I mean? So like a month or two go by, they coming around with the phone on Sundays. My mom's in North Carolina. I only get one phone call a week on a Sunday. You know, I'm like a 7-minute call or some shit like that. So, boom. They come around with the phone and shit. Now I learned it from the blood niggas. Whenever they don't get what they want, anytime the food cart come around, they put their arm through the slot. When you post, how you put your arms behind your back and they tell you to put the handcuffs on you. I know the blood niggas is putting their arms down there holding the slot open, and they start making their little demands and shit like that. So boom, they came around with the phone and shit. So they come with the phone. They hand me the phone through the food slot, the little slot. I go to use put my PIN number in to make my phone call. The shit telling me I already used my phone call for that Sunday already. So I dial a number again. Hold on, I know I ain't use my phone. I only use it on Sundays. Boom, I put my PIN number in and do all that shit. The shit telling me the same thing. I flipped in there. I took the, cause they hand you the receiver part with the wire connected to it. So I took the wire out, the handheld part you put to your ear. I took the wire out and threw the fucking wire back towards the food slot shit. You know what I'm saying? So the CEO nigga like, yo, what you doing? I said, what you mean what I'm doing? I said, you put my PIN number in. I just did it twice and this shit telling me you made my phone call already. You gave my PIN number to one of these niggas in here, and I can't make my phone call. Ain't nobody making no phone call like that. So the CO nigga yells out, yo, 46 still holding up the phone, and woo. So the blood niggas start screaming, hey, yo, 46 bell. That's what they was saying. I guess they was using B word. But anyway, hey, yo, 46 bell. You better let that fucking phone go. Woo. So different niggas hollering up, hey, yo, 46 bell, you fool nigga. You know what I'm saying? So the blood nigga next door in the cell, you know what I mean? He trying to tell me, yo, Black, let the phone go. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gotta use the phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling him, yo, I put my PIN number in twice. I don't know what happened, but I ain't use the phone. I want my phone call like that. You know what I'm saying? So the CO nigga like, yo, get a phone up or whatever. So they had this thing. The Bloods had this thing for telling the COs whenever the Blood wants something, they hold the slot open, or they took the phone, they tell them to suit up. So I told nigga, suit up then. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving this phone up. Y'all niggas suit up. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, us going back and forth and shit, they wound up calling. I guess before the Ninja Turtle, I call them Ninja Turtles, the niggas that suit up come to the cell, they gotta come with a supervisor. So they gotta come with a captain or somebody to do it. The CO niggas can't make them do it. So they come back, and I'll never forget, they come back with a captain. Her name was Captain Bell. I think she was Muslim because she had some thing on her head. She used to wear this thing on her head. So they wound up calling Captain Bell. Captain Bell come down here. Captain Bell come to my cell like, yo, what's going on? She was like, not you. You ain't never gave us nothing. I told Captain Bell, yo, I put my PIN up in twice or whatever. This nigga, I told the CEO, he gave my PIN number to somebody. I don't know what happened, but this telling me I already used my phone call already. You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, you can't hold up the phone to give it, I can find out what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, Captain Bell. I want my phone call like that. You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, you gotta let the phone call. So now the whole house flipping. You know, they still hollering and screaming and shit. Captain Bell told her, she's like, yo, you don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been giving us no problem. You don't really want to do this. I said, well, Captain Bell, something got to give. Something got to give because I need to make my phone call like that. You know what I mean? So the dude in the cell next to me was like, yo, Black, just give her the phone. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to tell me, don't worry about it. Give her the phone. He gonna get word to whoever, I guess one of his homies, whoever get the phone, he gonna tell him to hold the phone for me. You know what I'm saying? So me and Captain Bell going back and forth, so I gave Captain Bell the phone, you know what I'm saying? I gave Captain Bell the phone and shit. Was like, yo, Captain Bell, yo, I'm bugging out in here, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to read, I ain't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's mad loud in here. I'm like, yo, and then I don't get my phone call. I was like, that's the only thing I got is my phone call. So she was like, don't worry about it, I'm trying to find out what's going on. So like 30 minutes later, they come back to my cell. The CO that gave me the phone the first time, he come back to the cell. He tell me to pack up. So I'm like, pack up where I'm going. He was like, yo, per Captain Bell told me to tell you to pack up like that. So I packed up. I ain't never been to the island before. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my first, like, bid I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? They had already took my 6 months and told me I got to do the full year in the box. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I already know I got to stay here a whole year now. I don't know nothing about a cookie floor. You heard of that? You ever heard of that?
No.
It's called a cookie floor. They take me to another stairs up there. You can get like cookies and shit. This is like like a dog pound, but it's the shit empty. It's mad cells up there, but it was like one nigga in there. As soon as I get up there, they take me up to that floor. It's like one nigga in there, and they put me in the cell beside him. The nigga gave me like fucking like 6 cookies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there. I stayed in there for a whole week. They call it the cookie floor. I stayed in there, and this is 2005. It's like 2005. So I stayed in there. I stayed up there for a week. A week later, the CEO come up there and was like, yo, you can't stay up here. You got to pack up like that. So I'm telling him, yo, Captain Bell sent me up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Ain't no noise. Everything quiet. You know what I'm saying? So Paul, he's like, yo, you got to pack up. I packs up. They taking me back downstairs. I remember we was downstairs or upstairs. They taking me back to the house that I was in. You know what I'm saying? So I go back to the house that I was in. So, you know, it was the same shit. Go back to the house. Everybody get on their gate. They know. They hear when people come in. So everybody get on their gate. Yo, who that? So I already know the lingo. You know, I was, you know what I'm saying? So I just yelled out, never who that. This black, Brownsville. Like that. You know what I'm saying? So nigga like, you fool, nigga. Because them niggas are still mad because the week before I took the phone. You know what I'm saying? You fool, nigga. You a plate, nigga. Whoa, whoa. So this time, they put me on the other side. Instead of 46 cell, they put me over in the 20s area. So now I'm on the left side. They put so the dude that I'll never forget his name Rudy Ray. He was blood dude. He was Rudy Ray Skinner. You know what I'm saying? They put me next to him. You know what I'm saying? So about a couple of days go by, you know what I mean? Me and Rudy talking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then like
what year you talking about? What year is this again?
This 2005. 2005. They put me beside a dude named Rudy Ray Skinner. I think he was from the Bronx or somewhere. Matter of fact, God bless the dead, he knew Moosey. That's how me and him started talking. He knew Moosey from Van Dyke. So that's how me and him got acquainted. I started talking about people from Brownsville, and he knew Moosey. He called him Mussolini the Genie. So anyway, me and Rudy get acquainted and everything, you know what I mean? So I had been in there for about like 6 months or whatever by this time, you know what I mean? Then next thing you know, there's a Spanish dude in the cell on my left of me. They wound up taking him out or whatever, or he went home. I don't know where he went, but anyway, they wound up bringing the Crip dude in there, official. This dude was official. You know what I mean? He looked out. He even left me his little radio, his little Walkman. They clear. I don't know if you remember on Rikers Island, they let you have the little clear real radio. It take like one battery.
Mm-hmm.
So Cooley wound up leaving me his radio, but Cooley came in there. Cooley was a Crip. So me and Cooley start talking and shit like that. And so I'm between Rudy and Cooley. You know what I mean? So Rudy and Cooley had this thing, like they would share magazines with each other and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I remember I heard Rudy let it be known. The Cooley was like, yo, you know, they share magazines with her. He's like, but if these gates ever pop, you already know what it is. So Cooley was like, yeah, I already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? So boom, they had to understand that. Now mind you, every day since I've been there, I never went outside to the little, it's not like a yard, it's like other cages when you go outside. So the CEOs would come around every morning to make their rounds and knock on everybody's cell, like tap it and ask anybody want to go to the yard. I wasn't fascinated with that shit. All of the Bloods every day, they went out there because, you know, you got to get belly chains and shackled up from your feet and all of this shit. You know, I just wasn't with none of that shit. You know what I mean? So Cooley got there, you know what I mean? Cooley, that's my word. My hand to God. Cooley was getting on that chain every day, lads. You know what I'm saying? Cooley was getting on that chain and going out to the yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, so cool. So boom. One day Cooley asked me, he's like, Cooley done been in there for probably about 4 months now, you know, so time going by for me. So Cooley was like, yo, Black, you know what I'm saying? He next door. So he was like, yo, Black. I was like, yo, what's up? He was like, yo, Black, let me ask you something. I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, why you don't ever come out and go to the yard? You know what I mean? So I explained to him, like, yo, I don't like the idea of that shit going out there to the fucking yard just to go be in another cage, you know what I'm saying? Like that. He was like, yo, Black, you gotta get out that cell, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta come outside, get some air, you know what I'm saying? So one day, you know what I'm saying, they came, CEOs came around, you know, the top tier or whatever, and I hear them coming with the chains because I can hear it laying on my bed. So they come around with the chains one day, and Cooley, they got the Cooley cell, and Cooley must have walked back. They let Cooley walk back, just lean back and stick his head into the little square glass, and the nigga was like, yo, Black, come on, Black, come outside, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, Cooley, man, you know what I'm saying? He was like, Black, come on, Black, come outside, Black, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, man, Black, this is the first time I ever went to the yard. So I get a, you know, I put my hand through the little slot, they handcuffed me and everything. I stand in the hallway, they do the little leg iron shits, you know what I mean? Me and Cooley going out to the yard. This is my first time. So I don't know how you even get there. So they took us out some other door, like in the back of the house or whatever, and we go down some stairs and some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Then they wound up taking us outside to the fucking yard. So they put us in the cages. It was just like I said. So, you know, everybody's talking, you know, everybody blood talking and shit like that. So I don't like this shit. It's cold as fuck and all of that shit. So I did all of that and I came back and, you know, ain't nothing ever happened to me, you know what I'm saying? Or nothing happened to Cooley and nothing. Like, just nothing ever happened. Nobody popped on us or nothing like that, you know. So we get back to the cells and shit, you know, same shit. I told Cooley, I said, man, I ain't never going back out there, man. I don't like that shit. Boom. Make a long story short, I wound up doing that bed with Rudy and Cooley. Cooley wound up leaving first before me. He left me the clear Walkman and slid it under my door. So now I had K Slade, the drama hour, that shit. C74, lock in. OBCC, lock in. That's when K Slade was doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I'm chilling, I'm rocking out. I do the little time, you know what I'm saying? But if I ever go back to Rikers Island, I don't know if they got my name. They gonna send me back to the box because I still owe box time. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I get out. I go back to Brownsville. I go to my cousin's house the first day out. He give me 2 8 balls. He give me 2 8 balls and say, here, cuz, do your thing. I know you're gonna get on your feet fast. I'm like, all right, cool. Boom. But for some reason, to make a long story short, the hood just wasn't jinking like that. I was going to my old fiends' houses. They was happy to see me, but shit just never picked back up like that no more. You know what I mean? I called my sister down south. I told my sister, yo, sis, I'm coming back down south. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fucking 2000, I did the bid on Rikers Island in 2005. I got out in 2006. This 2008, 2009. Now I just called my sister like, yo, I come back down south. You know what I'm saying? I can't do this shit. She told me come down south. I get down south. I go get a job, lads, at the temp agency. It's not really a temp agency, it's a daily work, daily pay. They pay you $40 a day and shit like that, but if you ride the bus to wherever they send you at, it's no charge. But if you ride the van and they gotta take you to the job site, they charge you $5. So it really $35 a day. You know what I'm saying? So boom. In the process of me working there, it's this nigga that worked there, he run his mouth so fucking much, you know what I mean? But I know him, I know what side of the town he live on. He live on by some niggas that I know. But anyway, boom, I wound up getting on the phone one day and trying to, you know, link back up with people that I knew in the town. So I remember one number, and it's this dude named Skull. You know what I'm saying? I got a contact with him. He's like, yo, you back down in the town? I said, yeah, I'm back down in the town. He said, what you doing? I said, I'm working at a little daily pay place like that. He said, yo, don't you come over there with me like that? I said, come over there with you with? He said, I got a store. You know what I mean? When I left, he was hustling trees. When I had left in 2001, 2002, he was hustling trees. So I come back to North Carolina. He got a whole store. It's like a bodega, a real store, like on the Ave, on Mother Gaster Ave. He got a real store. So boom, he got a store. He's taking me over there to the store. He was like, he came to my sister's house and got me and shit. Said, yo, come take a ride with me over to the store and shit. I go with him, ride over to the store. So we get in the neighborhood. It's the hood, lads. I see niggas in the park selling you know what I mean, doing hands and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? We get to the store, he opened the door, I see it, it's nice, beer on one side, sodas on the other side, in the middle, chips and bread, a regular store. All right, cool. So he's telling me, yo, I'm gonna show you how to work the register, like that. So he's telling me, yo, you press this for EBT, you press that for alcohol, and this like that. He's like, whoa. He was like, yo, I've been having little issues over here with a couple of niggas because they don't like me and shit, you know what I mean? And I wound up finding out why, because he be talking crazy to them niggas' moms and shit like that. They come short with some change and shit like that, you know what I mean? And he be talking crazy, get the fuck out my store and all that. They be short with a little change. So I found that out by being there for about a month, and them dudes come in the store. They would never come to the store when he in there, but they'll come to the store if they see me in there, and they always be like, yo, New York, you alright, man. Every time I come to the store, like, you alright. He's like, but your man be talking crazy. He ain't gonna be over here too long, you know what I'm saying? So that's when they told me, like, yo, alright, your man be talking crazy, like, to people, niggas' moms over here and shit like that, you know what I mean? Whenever they come up short with some change, he be telling me, get the fuck out the store and shit like that. So I was like, alright, cool, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, don't worry about it, man, you know what I mean? Y'all niggas is good, man, you know what I'm saying? Just stay out the store when he come. If I'm here, y'all good, you know what I'm saying? So, boom. One day, 3 dudes came in the store, you know what I'm saying?
These prices are subject to change as the channel grows. I'm dropping 25 episodes per month. If you want a 10 episode lock-in where your promo is on 10 episodes that I drop, $3,000. If you want your promo on 5 episodes, $1,500. If you want to lock the whole 25 block down for the month, get at me. I give you a deal you could never refuse. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man. Sponsors, get at me.